Hello.
You must be a millionaire now.
I am. I'm rolling in it now, Brian.
Yeah.
I don't need to do this silly little podcast with you anymore. Get ready for this, Brian, because
I'm
you're
looking forward to this new Tesla that we're going to be getting next week.
So far in sales,
Yeah.
I have made a whopping. That's embarrassing.
Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we are going to be talking to you about what it feels like to be a #1 best-selling author. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, but you have to, don't
My
you?
dream come true, that, Brian.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't, to be honest.
Oh, thanks.
No.
Just try and hesitate a little bit when I'll say it again. Can you believe it, Brian?
No, I can't. Yeah, but I can't.
Just say yes, I can believe it.
Because
it's like no shock to me, Liz.
But no, because it is a shock to me. Because you only think of like the likes of J.K. Rowling and people like that as #1 authors, don't you?
Oh, you're digging a bloody deep hit. I hope you've got strong thighs, Bri, because it's going to be hard for you to get out of this one. So go on. Yeah, you only think of J.K. Rowling.
My thighs are very strong after the last 2.5 bloody years.
Go on. You only think of J.K. Rowling and what? So your wife releases a book and it's a huge shock to you that she's a #1. Why?
Because you don't ever imagine it's going to happen to you. That's why.
No.
That's what it's coming from, Liz.
It's a good job I'm feeling nice today, Brian. I'm going to let you go with that one. I'm going to let you off.
Yeah, okay.
If you're new to the show, we're Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We talk about all things travel. We live in New Zealand. We emigrated over here from the UK, God knows, yonks ago, 15 years ago. And we talk about changing our life, traveling the world. We talk about being entrepreneurs, making online businesses, raising young adult so you're not allowed to say raising. Rearing young adult children, and just being a husband and wife and chewing the fat about what life is like at this stage in our life.
This is about stepping out of the box, about trying something different, that it's never too late to change. And that's what we talk about, because we just give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you practice saying that?
No.
How come you said those words?
Because it was a lot easier to say that than all that stuff you just said.
Yeah, I know. Well, what's happened is I've just released my very first book. If you're new to this podcast and you don't know what we're talking about, I've just released my very first book. I've been going on about this book for yonks, haven't I, Bri? Been writing it for 2.5 years.
Yeah, well, the thing is we started sort of talking about it because we thought it was going to be released within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, it got released, didn't it? So it's kind of like we've been dragging it out a little bit, Liz.
Yeah, we have, Bri, but that's all right. We like to milk it.
But you're a perfectionist, that's why.
Oh, no, hang on. No,
well,
take that back. No, I'm not having that. Take that back, please.
Okay, you're not a perfectionist,
Thank you.
Liz.
Right, moving on.
That's why it took 6 months.
No, I'm just doing my best. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't like that, Bri.
Well,
because it makes you feel like, oh, yes, everything's got to be perfect. I'm anal, but I'm not a perfectionist.
Now, there's a thing.
So I wrote this book. It's called The Travel Bog Diaries. It's a hilarious confession, one woman's confessions of taking her family around the world on very little money, far too many hormones, and all the brilliant, hilarious stories that came out of that.
And they are brilliant, hilarious and funny, because we've just been doing that audiobook at the moment, and that's just like, wow, isn't it? Like, to actually hear you acting it out as you're doing. It's not just an audiobook, this, Liz. It's going to be, it's like someone said to you on, I think it was Instagram the other day, this needs to be a Netflix show.
Yeah, can you believe that? Anyway, I'm going to talk later about since I've released this book, I've had some, I've had some little secret messages coming through so quite frankly, I wasn't going to show you. It's a good job I'm open. And
not from Mr. Chat GPT.
No, they're all real bona fide boners.
Yeah, bonus.
Bona fide
GPT.
No, bona fide
bonus.
people messaging me and saying things about the book. And I want to talk to you about that later. But yeah, we just thought it would be fun to just listen, guys. Listen, the person who's listening to this, listen. You have supported me on this book writing journey like I can't tell you how. You've you must have gone and bought the book because someone's bought it. So someone's got me to the number one slot on the categories.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say before we start off this podcast, flipping, thanks so much. Thank you so much for your support, for just tuning in and listening to this podcast, being with me and Bri, and just, I've had some gorgeous reviews and some brilliant feedback, and it's just been phenomenal. And I'm going to talk about that journey from the last, from releasing the book and up until now, how it feels. So it's going to be a good episode, this, Bri.
I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
Yeah. So would you like to ask me a question, Bri, about how it felt the day before I released the book?
No, I think, do you know what we know that you've been nervous and everything like that, but I think we've got to kind of just jump in and go, hey, Liz, how does it feel to be a best-selling Amazon author? It
feels phenomenal. It feels a little bit unreal. It feels a little bit like, when I went onto Amazon and logged in and it said number one bestseller, and I was like, oh my God, obviously this has gone wrong. Obviously there's something wrong with their algorithm.
The phone's gone faulty.
Steve Jobs is it Steve Jobs that owns Amazon?
Yes, it is.
Who is it, Bri? Who is it?
It's Jeff.
Him, Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos. He's obviously done something wrong with his computer and got something wrong, because you can't believe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what I wanted to talk to you about, because that's all very well and good thinking, oh yeah, you're number one bestseller. But what I just really wanted to say, because as you know, you listen to this podcast and you know what we're like, and you know that I love to just give you the lowdown and all the real stuff. The day before I published that podcast, before we hit publish on that book, it was all uploaded. We'd got all the cover, all the Amazon description was done, all the keywords were in there. I mean, I did masses and masses of research.
Yeah.
So although I'm very, very surprised that it went to number one on those categories, I made sure that I did all my research on the right categories and that I was in the right categories on Amazon,
Yeah, but don't sell yourself short by
I'm
that.
not selling myself short. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I made sure I didn't just go and put it in humour. I put it in family travel humour.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So it was it was really niche. It was really it was I did my homework.
Which is what the book was.
Yeah. I'm not selling myself short, Bri. I'm giving myself some credit here. Yeah. Anyway, you've thrown me off now. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So the day before, I was going to press publish, and I knew that we were going to do it on that Friday. I was down the beach. Every morning, I was walking along the beach, and I got myself into this routine where I would just give myself an hour walking along the beach in Taranaki down here. And it's a beautiful beach, really wild, and it's winter at the moment, and it was just sea breeze just blowing like really wild, and just there is something about walking on a beach, especially a beach like that just gives you courage. It gives you energy, it just gives you... Yeah. And people who, honestly, anyone down there that saw me, they must just think I was a complete nutter because I was just walking along talking to myself the whole time. I'd listen to a podcast and stop the podcast and go, are you listening to this, Liz? This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to be. You're going to be so brave. And I was doing really well and I was really psyching myself up. But the day before I came to publish, I just had this massive panic attack, rush of panic.
Yes.
And I got my phone out, and this is really weird as well, because again, anyone watching me would just think, well, what the hell is she doing, crying her eyes out into that phone? I got my phone out and I started to record myself. And I just had tears streaming down my face. And literally, if you watch the video back, it's like, Liz, I know you're really scared right now, but this is going to be so worth it. This is going to be so worth it, Liz. You've just got to be brave. And it's just, I watched the video the other day and it just made me cry to watch it. Now, I know it sounds really weird.
No, it's not weird, but do you know that person that we used to just walk down the beach at and she would just be talking to herself? Have you become that person?
Yes, I have, Brian. Yes. And I don't want you to be mocking me on this now because this is very serious. No,
okay,
Brian,
all right.
Be serious.
I'll be serious.
This is a serious thing and it's to do with my emotions. And the reason I videoed it is because one day I'm going to help other people publish books. It might be tomorrow. Yeah. It might be someone reaches out to me, but tomorrow it's fresh in my mind. But one day further down the line, when I am past all this and I'm flipping, doing what I want to do, and someone comes to me and says, I'm a first-time author, I am about to press publish, and I'm terrified, I'm going to get that video out of me on the beach, crying my eyes out, and I'm going to watch it. And I say that on the video. I say, you're making this video for the future people who are going to come down this same path as you, Liz. Because, Bri, I never, ever want to forget, and you will forget if you don't document it, I never, ever want to forget that feeling of absolute terrifiedness, fear, literally quaking in my boots, fear, enough to make me cry with fear of thinking, tomorrow I'm going to publish a book that I've written and I'm going to put it on Amazon out to the world, and everyone is going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to forget that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the day before. Actually, do you know what, Brian?
What?
While we're here, you're looking nice, and I'm glad that you're concentrating now that you're looking at me. But while we're here, have you ever felt, name me a time that you have felt absolutely bricking it, that you're thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to do this. Can you think of a time? I know I'm putting you on the spot a bit. But.
Yeah, it would have been when I used to DJ, and it was the first time I ever did a beach party where I had to stop the music, get the microphone, go and tell the people to get off the dance floor, and then stand in the dance floor and become an entertainer and get people then to come up and do party games and things like that. That, the first few times I did that, it was so nerve-wracking.
How old were you?
21.
Right.
Yeah.
And why was it nerve-wracking?
Because I'd always been hidden behind the DJ booth, because, you're just playing your records, you're saying, introducing stuff. And
what were you scared of? What was your biggest fear?
No one would come up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like nobody buy my book.
Yeah.
Nobody will like
no
me.
one cares.
And that's it. And how funny will I be? Because you've got to try and be a bit of a comedian, like, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like being a stand-up comic, because you've got to start.
You were really good at that.
Yeah, but it's terrifying. You're actually, you're drenched in sweat, and people don't see it, like, but you're just trying to keep cool, and you're shaking as well.
And isn't it funny though? That's the thing, because like I saw, I was 18 or whatever I was when I saw you do it. You were a bit older than 21 when I saw you doing that, so maybe you.
I did it for a few years.
Maybe you'd been practicing, but so I didn't see you the first time you did it. But I know that you came over as a DJ as being very confident and very self-assured, and the same thing, people probably see
put
me.
yourself out there, isn't it?
Yeah, and probably see me and think, oh, well, obviously if they listen to this podcast, they know that I'm not that person. But, if you saw me on YouTube maybe and thought, oh yeah, well, she's confident, she's all right, she's got it together. But I don't know what that is. I don't know, like, why we put this thing over of being super confident and then inside you're just falling apart, it's just...
Yeah.
It's really, really scary, isn't it?
It is, but this is the human. It's mind over matter, isn't it? And that's what's so hard to get through. And it's easier said than done.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've got a really good quote. I've just at the moment quotes. I love quotes. I do.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I just thought, oh, do you know what? I just sometimes, not sometimes. For me, a lot of the time, quotes just get me through. And I read this one by Peter Drucker. I don't know who Peter Drucker is, but I just saw the quote and it said, whenever you see someone successful or a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. And I thought, it's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
So going back to the old, because we're putting a bit of a downer on it, I think. But
this is just an emotional trip.
It's been flipping emotional.
It really has.
It's been really, and going back to that thing of fear, and you saying that you were scared because you thought no one would turn up. Hand on heart, the thing that I thought, like the thing that scared me the most was people not liking me.
Yeah.
I thought people have going to seen me on YouTube or like read my emails and they just think I'm just this, this is what my head is telling me. Yeah. I'm just this nice person who, promotes New Zealand and, she has a good laugh with her husband, and then they're going to read my book and see that I'm saying mean things, even though it's all in comedy, about my husband and about my kids. And then they see that I swear and they're going to think, oh my God, I don't like her anymore. Yeah. And that is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you fear that people not liking you and judging you and just, like you said, not coming up, just you imagine them standing at the edge of the dance floor going, oh, sod off, mate, you're boring.
Well, you're just a wall of faces. And that's what, it's that same thing, isn't it? It's just, it's such a, there's lots of books get published every day, but, and you think, so why is someone going to choose my book? Why are they going to, and so when that goes back to what we were saying before about, I was number one bestseller,
I still can't believe that when you say it though,
and that's
number
the
one
thing.
bestseller.
And it's a number one bestseller in several categories in several countries around the world as well. And it's not just international. Yeah. How many screenshots do you reckon you took?
Well, the battery's depleted on the computer. I've knackered that up because it's just like screenshots. So going back to when it was released, we pressed publish, and then I had a team of advanced readers that I had 50 people, advanced readers, that had looked at my book beforehand. They'd read the PDF. They've been through, bearing in mind, my people on my newsletter list have been through this from the start. They've watched me put the book together. They've commented on whether they think it's funny, whether it was too much. There was a time when I didn't know whether to use certain language about Sonny's girlfriend, and they commented on that. Then they commented on the book cover. It's been a very collaborative project.
Yep.
And I am so flipping grateful for that, because I've said this before on this podcast. If I'd have had to do it alone without those people walking beside me, and emailing me and going, "You're doing great, Liz, just keep going. It's funny. You're all right, Liz. We are going to buy it." I don't know what I would have done. But yeah, so we pressed publish, and then so immediately a rush of people must have gone and bought the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd just gone out, and when I had a cup of tea, and when I came back, and I let it run for about a couple of hours, because when you publish it on Amazon, you've got to let it populate and all the rest of it. And we'd done that. We'd published it on the Friday. We'd let it populate on the Saturday and the Sunday. And then on the Monday, I sent an email out to my list. I think we put a podcast out, and we're like, it's for sale. The Travel Bog Diaries is for sale. And I just looked at the screen, and it just said like one of those little orange banners, and it was like #1 bestseller. And I was like, I came into you, didn't I? And I was like, oh my God, come here. And you just came in, and were like, I honestly thought they've made a mistake.
Yeah,
they've made a mistake.
Well, it goes through things, doesn't it? Where initially, when I was looking at stuff, it was saying #1 new release,
yes,
or hot new release, or something like that.
It still says that on one of the ones.
Hot, but it wasn't. And it's just like, and then you scroll down, and then you can see the other stuff underneath it. It's like position 6 in this, and position 8 in this, and 4 in this, and then over like say that day, and it's like it was creeping up, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if you're listening to this is how Amazon works. Based on how many book sales you sell within a few hours, that's how it gets you. That's how it gets you to #1. So I obviously had a big influx of people for like 3 or 4 days were buying the book, and it just kept pushing it up to #1 in all these categories. And at one point, Bride, you know what? I was ahead of Bill Bryson. In travel humour, I was like #7. He was #9.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I took a...
He's really famous.
Yeah, but it's like Jeremy Clarkson does.
Yes.
His... what's his show called? It's called Grand Tour, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The Grand Tour in travel humour. And you at the time were #23 and he's #24. And you're like, wow. So I took a picture of that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because it was just like, that's how cool it is with, you're going up against these huge people, and they've got like 3,000 reviews, and you're sitting with no reviews, and you're sitting next to them because, at that time you're going up through the ranks as such, like,
I've got 21 reviews on there now. Apparently, if you get, this is the thing when I was doing my research, when you're doing, apparently when you release a book on Amazon, if you get 30 reviews in the first, I think it's 2 weeks or whatever, then Amazon, because it's all a big, it's also a big game, isn't it,
all
Brian?
A big algorithm.
It is a big algorithm game, and it annoys me, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's the same as anything. It's the same as YouTube. It's the same as SEO on Google. It's the same as reviews on podcasts. Everything works on how much feedback you get from people. Yeah. And this is why people say, and I didn't realize this until I got into this business, oh, leave me a review, please. Leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. Leave me a review on Amazon. Leave me a review on YouTube.
Yeah.
It is
if you
huge.
listen to this podcast, please just go. This is all free for you guys. Please just go to the review and just give us a review.
Yes.
It makes a huge difference.
It makes a
pushes
massive
you up
difference.
Through the ranks as such.
Yeah.
We're not a huge podcast, but it's an international podcast because people all over the world listen to us.
Yeah.
Even the North Pole listens to us,
Oh, well, exactly. We're all over the world, Brian. Someone from Finland yesterday.
Yes.
They contacted me. Anyway, so here I am sitting here, just published this book. I did everything by myself. I hired an editor, and I hired a book cover designer, and I hired a formatter. But all the publishing, putting it up to Amazon, putting all the keywords in, putting all the categories, making the author page. I say I did it by myself. I didn't. I did it with you. I did it with you.
Yes, we
I didn't mean that.
We built 2 websites as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, at the same time.
But we did it together, Brian. We did it
know.
like this little
Yeah.
tiny, just me and you.
All from home.
I
When you say
know.
self-publishing, here we are in our home where we do our podcasts and everything. We don't have a studio. We don't have anything, do we? Like,
No.
You know, we're sitting in our family room. And we're actually filming this, so, you know, we might just get a little community going where you can come and watch our videos.
So that night when I went to #1 bestseller, I was bloody, like you say, I took so many screenshots because it doesn't matter if you just drop off now. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
You were #1
You would
bestseller.
just be our #1 bestseller.
That will be on my nailed to my
Your
to my
epitaph.
coffin. Nailed to my coffin as it's going in the ground. And she was #1 bestseller in family travel. But yeah, I phoned up my mum. I said, "You're never going to be able to believe this, Mum." Oh, do you know what, Bri? It was worth it. It's going to make me cry, this, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Just, it's been flipping worth 2.5 years to hear her reaction over the book.
Yeah, she read the book.
Two,
didn't she?
when I told her that, I said, "Mum, you're never going to believe it." She said, "What?" I said, "You know the book?" She went, "Yeah." And I went, "It's flipping #1 bestseller." And she just went silent. And I went, "Did you hear me?" And she went, "Lizzie, I'm numb." And I'm like, "Oh," you know, and I was like, "Oh, that's the reaction you want, isn't it?"
is. Yeah.
And then she wouldn't read the Kindle version.
No.
And I was like so annoyed because she'd ordered it off Amazon and it was taking 10 days to come. And I'm like, "Mum, just read the Kindle." She went, no, I want I'm an old fashioned person. I just want the paper between my fingers. I want it to be able to feel it. I'm waiting till it comes. Anyway, about 4 days ago, the book turned up at her house. And she said, "The book's here. Don't phone me all day because I don't want to be disturbed. I'm reading the book."
Yeah, she cleaned all her house, got a shower, got a bottle of wine,
or
a glass of wine, and went to bed
Crate
and read
of
it
wine.
in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she read the book and I was waiting for the phone call because I thought I won't disturb her. She phones me up. Again, this is worth every bit of hard work and crying on the beach and all the rest of it. She phones me up at 5 o'clock and she's like this. I went, "Did you like it?" And she went, "That's the best book I've ever read." And I just thought, oh my God, that is it. I have succeeded in life.
Yes.
I have got to the top of where I want to be, and I mean that. I don't mean that. I'm not joking.
No, but it's true.
If you can make your parent, because let's face it, Bri, that's all we want in life
That's
is
all you
to
want.
impress our parents.
But it is though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything you do, you think, oh, you know, even, you know, anything you do.
Yeah.
From, oh, Mum and Dad love that, or that, you know, it's that type of thing. Even at my age, like, you know, you still think about it.
Any age, yeah.
And even like what we did with traveling around the world with the kids, because that's what the book is about. And when you come home, nobody wants to know about it.
No.
And I think it was great what she said after that. She said, "I didn't realise you did all these things."
Oh, she said so many nice things. Do you know what? This is the
crazy,
point.
isn't it?
Yeah, this is the point here, Bri. When you're in an emotional state, right? When you are feeling so emotional that you're crying or you're so delirious or, you know, just emotion takes over you, the words that you speak then, you know, when you say, "Oh, God, I don't know what I was saying. I was carried away with emotion." They are the most truest words you will ever, ever speak. You know, when you get someone to say something to you and it comes from the heart like that and they haven't had time to think about it and, you know, "Oh, I'll say this to her when I speak." It just comes like that, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
It's the words that are the deepest, the most meaningful, that people remember, like, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you have a baby and you turn to I remember turning to you when I just had Sonny and I love you so much, Brian, you know. Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's like that emotion, that raw,
the real.
Yeah, that real thing that comes out. I don't know what the scientific thing about that is, but anyway, the things that she said to me while she was crying on the phone, it just made me sob my heart out. She just said, "You know, what you have done with your family, you will never, ever, ever forget this, Lizzie." She said, "You have made so many beautiful memories." You know, she said, "You have come so far together as a family." And I couldn't actually believe that, because me and my mum are really close.
Because she was saying, "I don't realise how strong your family unit is."
Yeah,
or
yeah.
didn't realise how strong it was. And you
It was
think,
just
why didn't you know
really
that?
lovely stuff.
But
and she was just like, "You know, you're an amazing writer. And she's like, you come over as being warm and likable and just, you want to be your friend and you just all this stuff." And it was just, it just meant more to me than God, anything, $1 million trillion, it would make it meant more to me, Bri.
Yeah.
It really did. So I don't know if she listens to this podcast. If you do though, Mum, I love you so much. No. I really do.
I love you as well.
Yeah,
Lynn.
and I wrote that book for you, and it was just like, it was. So that was a huge achievement.
Yeah.
So
moving on to the next thing, Liz, because you just mentioned it just then, trillions of dollars. So now you're a best-selling Amazon author. What are you going to spend all the money on? Hey?
Right.
You must be a millionaire now.
I am. I'm rolling in it now, Brian.
Yeah.
I don't need to do this silly little podcast with you anymore.
Because just wind back a little bit. Tell me how much your editor, formatter, and is your phone?
I know my phone's going off. Shall I go? No, I'm not going to go and turn it off.
Just
It's fine.
leave it, yeah.
It'll be Tess trying.
So
to
you've got
text
the
me.
formatter, you've got the editor, and you've got the book cover designer. How much did you spend? This is all US dollars, isn't it?
How much did it all cost?
Yeah.
So $3,000.
$3,000. Yeah.
And so far in sales, get ready for this, Brad, because
I'm
you're
looking
fall
forward
flat
to
on
this new Tesla that we're going to be getting next week.
So far in sales,
Yeah.
I have made a whopping. That's embarrassing. $322.
Wow, it's worth it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just so good being an author.
So it is. It's brilliant. I'm just rolling in it. So far, I'm in debt. But I don't care because of Mum's reaction. But I'm in debt. What? How much do I owe? £7,000? £10 million?
Yeah, probably. Probably about $2,000 or $3,000 still in debt.
This is what I want to talk. I've got so much to say, but this is the other thing that I would just brush on about this as well. Is you're not going to write a book to be, and I kept trying to say this to you because I don't think you believed me when I told you this, but I did all the research and I knew, you're not going to write a book and suddenly become, well, maybe like if you were J.K. Rowling or whatever.
Well, the first book
Shades of
never's
Grey,
going to
that
make
book.
any. Yeah, but they're one-offs, aren't they? That's
Yeah.
like anything. That's like YouTube stars that have got 3 million subscribers, and they're making 100,000 a month out of it. It's just like they're very rare, aren't they?
The reason people write books is, well, apart from the love of it and because their mum phones them up crying their eyes out and telling them how much she loves them.
Yeah.
The reason people write books is it's usually to go into something other than writing books. I mean, lots of people will just write books for writing books, but I went into writing books because I want to entertain. And that entertainment for me is always to make people laugh. But that's
that creative in you though as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but
It's
what
not
I'm
just to make
saying
them
is
laugh,
I
it's
didn't
like-
do it and think, I'm going to publish this book and make loads of money. I published this book hoping that now my exposure would go like this. So people would think, that would make a really good one-woman play. I really want to turn this into a one-woman show.
Yeah, I'm looking
I
forward
would love
to
to do
that. That would be, it's right up our street really, because, you used to entertain years ago doing cabaret, didn't you, and everything. So, to be back on the stage and, you've done certain
Treading the
shows.
boards, Brian.
Treading the boards again.
But yeah, it's just so, the whole one-woman play thing. This podcast, in the book I wrote about the podcast and I said, come and listen to our podcast. I love doing this. And also I want to write more books. And I think probably the more books you write, the more $300 are going to come in.
Yeah, it is. But, and it's all about not one income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's about little multiple incomes. In this month you get $350 coming in from your book. Great. It's cost us a lot to get it that point, but it starts to come back in, doesn't it? And it's not about, this was never about money. It never was. This is about just what you were talking about helping other people, making them laugh. And if you can make someone laugh, that helps them in their day. You've just given them 8 hours of fantastic entertainment, haven't you?
Don't get me wrong, Bri. I'd flipping love to be a billionaire from my writing. I'd absolutely love it.
like you say.
But how can you be when Amazon so when you release on Amazon, this is the other thing we should have just said, is when you put your book up to Amazon, you get a choice whether you want to take 70% of the royalties or 30% of the royalties. And we chose together. This was
We're
a
not greedy,
decision.
are we, Liz?
No, we don't care about the money.
No, it's not about the money,
No, it's not, Brian. But we chose the 30% royalties. And the reason we did that, you can change it at any time, by the way.
Yeah.
The reason we did that is because someone said on YouTube that if you choose the lower percentage, Amazon, which I'm sure this is true,
like advertising.
will push you.
Of course they will. Yeah. If they can make, because they've now made $700 out of you.
Yeah. So if I'd have chose the 70%, right, I would have made, how much would I have made?
$700.
Is that right?
Probably. Well, yeah, I'm just
A bit
splitting
more, about $1,000.
I'm just...
Yeah, it'd be about 1,000, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it probably would be.
Because double is 660
probably
and then
about
a bit more.
800, 900 or something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Honestly, Brian, you can you just, whenever I say anything like this about maths, do you always go, no, yeah, maybe, no, not that much. No, you're not right. No, not quite right there, Liz.
Well, that's it.
Well, no, I'm saying it's about $1,000.
40% more.
Pardon?
Yeah.
70%. Oh, you're a flipping... Yeah, you want to laugh. Yeah. You want to laugh and turn away. You know what you're doing. By the way, Brian, I just want to ask you, are you disappointed?
I've always been disappointed in life, Liz. Yeah. It's one of my big things that helps me get out of bed in the morning is disappointment. Does this podcast disappoint you? Hell yes.
No, but what I mean to say is, tell me the truth. Are you disappointed that I'm only making $300?
Do you know what, Liz? Little things flash through your mind, don't they? Like, you just think, oh, wow, what if it just did explode, like on Amazon, like, and went huge, like, And so, yeah, you do start to think, oh, what if it did make, $10,000 a month, or what if it was doing that? It goes through your mind, doesn't it? And then you just think, oh, and then we could go on different podcasts and, you'd be interviewed and all those sort of things. Yeah, it goes through your mind. It's not a disappointment because I never thought we'd even be, an Amazon bestseller. I was hoping, I'm being, the person who's saying I didn't think it would happen because it did happen, like, and you're saying, oh, why didn't you put faith in me and stuff like that? Yeah, of course. I always thought, and I'm just making this.
There's no one have more faith in me than you, Brian.
I know. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing, would we?
No.
Because I know how you write. I read your new newsletters and stuff like that, and there's a buck in them alone, isn't there? Like, because so you get like a 2,000 word email off someone, and it's just great. You feel so encouraged at the end of it, or it's just, you're a great writer, Liz, and that's the thing. And you are an author now. Yes,
best-selling author, please.
Best-selling author.
Make sure you put that in front of my name. I'm going to be like one of those people, when they're a doctor and they refuse to be called by their first name, and they're like, actually, I'm doctor. Yeah, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be obnoxious.
Be BSA Liz Deacle.
Yes, I am. When anyone addresses me now,
BSA
they have
afterwards.
To say best-selling or international. Excuse me, international best-selling author Liz Deacle.
Yeah, BSA. Do you know what that is?
No, because that sounds like that irritable bowel syndrome.
Doesn't it?
They might think I've got that. But going back to your, your disappointment, Brian.
Yeah.
I just want you. I know, and I'm hand on heart now. I'm going to say this on the podcast for all my thousands of people to listen. I am 1,000,000% sure, and I can tell you this, hand on heart, and I'm putting it down on audio now, that what I have written in that book will lead to great things. It will lead to big things for me, Bri. I think that it's going to lead to a one-woman show. I think it's going to just lead to me helping people become other authors. It's just going to be, it's going to lead to good things.
Opening up doors is what you're saying.
I know it is.
Building bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you just feel it inside. Mm-hmm. Oh, Bri, let me just read you this quote because this is a good time to read this. What's
this guy's name?
Oh, don't say that. His name is Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Goethe. Anyway.
Guten.
Pardon? It's not Guten.
G-O-E, wasn't it?
No, G-O-E-T-H-E. Goethe. Johann
Guten.
Wolfgang von Goethe.
Von Guten.
It's not von Guten. Shut up, gluten.
It is.
It's just that you've got gluten on the brain. It's not that. It's not gluten. Anyway, so here's the quote.
From Wolfgang, anyway.
Yeah, from Wolfie. Here's a quote from Johann. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it.
Say it again.
I love that. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it.
Right.
Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. It's nice, isn't it? I know why you asked me to read that again, because you thought I said baldness.
I did. I was going to shave my head.
Oh, Brian. I've tried to edit. I thought, oh, shit, I pronounced that wrong. Right, anyway, so that's that. Oh, yeah. And anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about, because it's true, Brian, just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and believe in me and stop feeling so disappointed that you've only got $300. The thing I wanted to talk about before we leave as well is marketing. So I tell you what, if I thought that writing this book was hard and pressing publish and going down the beach and crying my eyes out, nothing is proving more challenging for me than marketing it.
And getting people to leave reviews as well.
Yeah,
we're all lazy on that, aren't we?
I know.
Because you read a book. When do you ever go and leave a review? Well, you don't, do you?
I know. And that's just to say as well, if you have bought the book and you enjoy it, well, whatever you thought of the book, could you just go to Amazon and just scroll down to Amazon and you see like leave a review on this book and you press how many stars and then you get a chance to just write some things about what you thought about the book. And I tell you what, it helps enormously. It really does, because I've got 21 reviews at the moment. I'm so grateful for those reviews. And I know it takes a lot for people to write reviews, but do you know what I'm going to do as well, Bri? I'm going to make it my mission, and I've already done this, because it's not until you do something like this, like we were saying earlier, that you realise how important and valuable it is for someone just to go, do you know what? This is what I thought of your book. You know, this is what I thought about it.
Because it's, even if you've got a book from the library or whatever, go and find out where you can leave a review for that, for the author that you've just,
And I think this also draws into the fact as well that whatever you experience, whether you listen to someone on the radio or watch them on YouTube and you just think, oh no, I'm not leaving a comment. Loads of people have left comments. They don't need it. Yeah. They've got millions of subscribers. Oh, so many times I do that. I watch a video on YouTube and I think, flipping out, that was really good. And then I go to leave a comment and think, oh no, they've got 7,000 comments already. I'm not going to, as if they're going to see mine. Yeah. And you shouldn't think like that.
No, you shouldn't. No.
You should, and in real life as well, Bri, you should always make a point of saying to someone, wow, that was really good what you just did. Yeah. I did that to you yesterday, didn't I? I made a point yesterday, because yesterday I was I was going through on my website and I wanted to get a link, and I went to my travelbogdiaries.com website that you have built, and I found the link so I can share it with people to leave reviews, because someone had emailed me and said, how do I leave a review? And you've made a little pretty link that says the Travel Bog Diaries /review. Yep. And when you type that in, it takes you straight to the Amazon page.
We'll leave this in the description, actually.
Yeah, we will. And I was just doing it and I was going about and I thought, oh yeah, where's that link that Brian made? And I clicked it. And then I just thought, oh my God, you've done all that. Yeah. You've sat down and you've built that website and you've made all those links and you've put it all together and it looks fantastic. And I don't think because I've been I do say thank you to you, but I just wanted to make a point of going, do you know what, Bri? You've done such a fantastic job.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's nice that you say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do need to say that to people, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But the thing,
Do you feel uncomfortable when I say that to you?
Obviously.
Why?
Because I'm always waiting for it. There it comes.
No, actually, you're wrong, mister.
No,
I
know. I was thinking of other things to say, but it's best just to say, well, I'll accept that.
Yes.
What do you call it?
That compliment.
The compliment. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a hard thing to do, but to actually accept a compliment it's harder to accept it than give it.
Yes.
I think it is anyway.
Yeah, I do too. And I think most people are like that.
Most people
as well.
go, oh, no, you helped me. We did that together. And it's just like, yeah.
Now, here's a little bit of wisdom for you.
Here's the thing.
Here's a little bit of wisdom. Yep. This is what I learned a couple of months ago, and I've taken this on board. And I can't believe I'm 52 and I only learnt this a couple of months ago. So when someone gives you a compliment and you say to them, oh, no, this was this, you did all this. It's like, liken it to the fact someone gives you a present and you say, oh, no, sorry, no, I don't wear that aftershave. Yeah, take it back. I don't want it. I don't like it. Or here's a bunch of flowers. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. I can't stand the smell of those flowers. Take them back. It's the same. That's what you're doing. When someone gives you a compliment and you say, no, don't be silly. God, no, I didn't do it. It was all you. Or I didn't do it. You're throwing it right back.
Yeah, it's not nice.
And I try and remember that.
Yeah. And that's what I say. It's harder to go, oh, thanks.
That's all you have to say. It's thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do when you're not used to doing it.
Well, I heard someone say that the other day. I think it was whoever it was. And he just said, I'll accept that. I think it was Lewis Howes was talking to someone and he just said, I'll accept that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to hear because it's just like, yeah. And we should all do that a bit more. Instead of, oh, no, don't mention it. No, it's like.
Going back to the marketing, because it has just been, so my marketing, I haven't got a plan, obviously. I just do everything like, oh yeah, well, I'll just carry on.
No, you do have a plan.
Do I?
Yeah, of course you do.
What is it?
God, what marketing?
Yeah.
Were you trying to get on other people's podcasts? So
yeah.
you've gone on that.
But I'm talking about social media podcast, social media marketing.
On that you've got your first introduction chapter that you are segmenting up into minute slots.
Yes.
And then, putting all the captions on it and posting it every day.
Well, you're putting all the captions on, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. But
let's just talk about that for a minute then. So we you're right. We made a video of me sitting on the toilet with my skirt hoiked up around my waist, reading the introduction of the first chapter. Acting it out, yeah. And we used that as what's called a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is something that you give to someone for free if they give you their email. So, when you sign up for sign up here and we'll send you a free blah, blah, blah. Well, that's called a lead magnet. And to get people on my email list so I can keep in touch with them, obviously, because that's the best way to keep in touch with people is on email.
Yeah.
And it also shows you who is a true follower, because if you can be bothered to give someone
you give your email in.
If you give your email, then you're really trusting that person. So as a reward, as a gift, I gave them that full video of me sitting on the loo reading the introduction. And it was a really, really great thing to do because so many people emailed me back and was like, I loved the video.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was months ago we did that. And then Bri took that video and he chopped it up into 18 one-minute segments, or I think it might be 21-minute segments.
It's whatever it is, yeah.
And it was always our plan. We said, when we've released the book, what we'll do is every day we'll put a little, the 1-minute video onto Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, YouTube Shorts and TikTok. And back then it seemed like, oh yeah, that's what we'll do. That'll be brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Now it's come to doing it. Oh God, it's hard. It's just like every day I'm thinking, oh no, they're just going to be sick of me. They're going to hate it. They're going to be like, because you can see how many likes you get as well. And the likes are going down. So it's not like it's getting more and more popular. So that gives me less confidence because I'm thinking, oh no, when probably in reality, all people are thinking is, well, we've watched a couple of them and that's enough. And
yeah, well, they probably think it's the same one because you'd initially look at it other than it says part 5 or part 6 on it, doesn't it? But yeah, it's like you just got to get it out there because someone hasn't seen it for the first time. It's just like in 2 weeks, there won't be any more, will there? Or there won't be the same ones,
And here's a good point, Bri. Here's something as well. I hope you're listening to this and getting something out of it because this is literally just us talking about what it's been like to market and do the book.
Yeah, there's to do anything, whether you start a business or anything, you'll get something out of this because this is how you market your business. Do it the same way, sell something, whatever it is.
And I don't know anyone really. I mean, maybe Cliff Ravenscraft, he's brilliant at marketing, but I don't know anyone else that's confident to think, do you know what? I'm putting my stuff out every day. I don't care if you've seen it every day. It's going out, it's going out,
someone
it's going
hasn't seen it.
No, and that's a really good point.
Someone shares it.
I started following a girl called Nicole. Her podcast is called This Woman's Work. And I was a guest on her podcast a couple of weeks ago. She's absolutely brilliant. She's written this book called Validation is for Parking. And it's all about validating yourself, giving yourself confidence and going through life. You don't need validation. You've got what it takes. It's a fantastic book. And she published it a few months ago. And I started following her a few months ago. And I emailed her the other day and I said, Nicole, why do you never talk about your book? And she emailed me back and she said, because I noticed on her podcast, she stopped mentioning about her book.
Yeah.
And
it's what people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you think people are getting sick of it. And she emailed me back and she said, oh, Liz, she said, to be honest, she said, I went hard out marketing my book like I'm doing. And she said, and then I got tired and I got worried that people were sick of seeing it. And here's the thing. I said to her, Nicole, I didn't even know you'd released a book. I've not seen any of your social media posts about you and your book. Yeah. I'm new to this.
Yeah, you're new to it. You've only just joined, is what you're saying.
And I want to know about your book because I don't know about it. And so going back to your point where you said, even if one person watches one of those videos of me on the toilet and they've never heard of me before or heard of the It's a Drama podcast before or the Travel Bog Diaries before, and they're like, oh, what's this?
Exactly.
Oh, right. So you have got to remember that.
Yeah, but you only need one person that person loves it and then shares it with someone else and then they share it. And that's how the daisy chain effect carries on, isn't it? Or the butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like the ripple effect.
Yeah, well, it is. And it can get bigger and bigger. And otherwise, don't do anything. and sit there think, well, nobody knows about it now, then, do they?
I know.
So, it's just going to fall off Amazon, isn't it? And no one's ever going to see it ever again.
Do you think you would be brave enough to, and I've asked you this before, but do you think, if I said to you now, Bri, just go and sit on the toilet, pull your underpants down, will you?
Yeah.
You can't see anything.
Not a problem.
Oh, shut up. As if. As if.
It's because you can't see anything.
Yeah. Would you, though, if I said to you, right, Bri, for our next marketing thing, I really want to, because I'll just tell you in a minute about that guy from Brazil, from the Basque region.
In Spain.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. So he messaged me on Instagram, this guy from Spain. And it was like, where you have to request someone to message you because you're not following each other. Yep. And I'm always a bit wary of those messages because I think, is it just going to be hello dear, I can take your podcast to great heights, dear.
Yeah.
Just pull your nicks down and I'll show you how. Dear.
What's he with again?
And I saw this message and I could just see at the top, you're going to blow up on the internet. And I thought, what's this?
Yeah, you didn't understand it. You actually showed it to me, didn't you?
Yeah, because at first I thought it was like a threat.
Like it's a blow up in your face.
Yeah,
type
I
thing.
thought he was saying,
Yeah.
But what he was saying was, what you're doing is genius. It's fantastic content. He said something like, like Netflix will get hold of this and you're going to be a millionaire. But he said, if you could get Brian involved, it would be...
Now, there's a thing.
No, Brian, he said that. Yeah. He said, if you can get your nice husband involved into this like little play thing that you're doing, like, this show on the toilet.
But a role play in the toilet, eh?
Well, so I said to you, Bri, because there's only one toilet, right?
Yeah.
Because we haven't got dual toilets. We don't sit there like the king and queen next to each other on the toilets. No. How about, right, you sit on the toilet, pull your undies down.
Yeah.
I'll sit on top of you.
God almighty.
Right. And then we can each read a line from my book. Would you do that? Just say.
Well, why don't we just give it a go? Because it sounds good to me.
You're trying to be cocky now. I know you are. You're trying to be cocky. It sounds good to me. Honestly, just think about it for a moment.
Yeah.
What would you do? Seriously, if I said, Brian, this is the only way this is going to work. I really need you to do this for me, Brian. Please just sit on the toilet with your underpants down.
With you sitting on top of me.
With me sitting on top of you reading my book. What would you do?
I'd be there like a flash. Every day at 3:00, Liz. Let's do chapter 2.
You're lying. I know you're lying.
Just say, look, the camera's broken. We need to redo this.
But anyway, so that was that. And I can't remember what I was saying about this, but just the whole marketing thing. And also the kids are just Sonny is just taking they are very, very supportive.
But they are, aren't they?
But he made me laugh the other night. He was sitting on the couch because he lives at home. He's 22. Well, he's 22 tomorrow, actually. And he was sitting at home and he's on his phone and all you can hear is my voice on his phone. He's like...
Every channel.
He said, every bloody channel you're on. Every one of my social channels.
You posted this twice on the same channel.
He said, you know you've posted this 3 times on your story, don't you? And I'm like, no, I don't. He said, come here, let me sort it out for you. But we were just wetting ourselves because I just said, is it too much, Sonny? Because you want to know, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't want to be a pain. And he's like, no, you're not too much. It's the only way they're going to get to know about your book. If they don't like it, they can swipe.
Yeah. But he skits you as well, doesn't he? Because I was cutting up some pizzas, I think, the other night or whatever it was we were having for dinner. And you were filming it because you were going to send it to Tess, saying, we're missing you and wish you were here type thing. And as you pan around to Sonny, he just comes out with the first line of your book.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And you just laughed your head off, which is great that you laugh at each other. You sent it to Tess and then she sent out the second line, didn't she?
Yeah. Sonny said, so I pan around with the video and Sonny goes, I always wanted to be a yummy mummy. And then I sent it to Tess and she sent me a message back saying, I'm just wetting myself. And she sent a video back saying, a yummy mummy. Just like really, just taking the mick out. Before we go, Bri, I just want to talk about being able to see things, laughing at yourself, basically. I know
especially when you're sitting on me.
I know you said to me the other day, I'm glad that you can see the funny side of it. So here's a little story. So I put the stuff on YouTube. I put the videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
For some reason, YouTube just not our main channel because they're really, really nice and supportive people. And I love the people who follow us on YouTube. But when you put a short on YouTube, it's
different audience.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's not long-term. It's short. What do they call it?
Short form content.
Short form content is,
And so you're putting yourself out there, opening a can of worms, basically.
You are. Can of whoop-ass.
Pardon?
Open up a can of whoop-ass.
Yeah, and I put the video of me and I thought, I was like, shall I, shan't I? And I thought, do you know what? Why not? I just tried to remember Sunny's voice and your voice, and it's like, why did you do it? If you're not going to put it out there, why did you do it? And I put it out there, and then I get this comment from this guy, like xyz123.com sort of thing. You no picture on the avatar, and oh, here we go. And it wasn't a horrible comment, but he said, oh my God, this woman reminds me, she is the image of the guy from The Office, the American Office.
The US version.
What's he called? The actor?
I don't know. I've never watched it, but I know what he looks like.
There's me thinking, Julia Roberts, maybe Kate Blanchett, maybe with dark hair, going a bit like that. What's that other actress I absolutely love? Meryl Streep. I would have gone for her. Emma Thompson, huge compliment. But to be called a man in The Office in America and say, oh, you're the image of him. I was walking on the beach when I saw the comment, and I was like, well, that's a bit mean. And for a flick second, Bri. No, for a flick of a second, I thought, right, you can either go two ways with this, Liz. You can take this hugely personal, cry your eyes out and think, oh my God, everyone just thinks I look like a man and I'm just so hideous and horrible. And
are men hideous?
Well, no, but Brian.
I know what you mean.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm just trying to keep you
going.
going.
Come on then. Come on.
No, it's what he means, all as he means on that comment is as the end screen comes up on these videos, it's you with your butt cover and it's your expression. That's what he meant. It doesn't mean you actually look like him, but it's your because he's got a very expressional face like you. And that's all he mean. It's so you'll see the picture of him advertising The Office. That's his face would be there like that with that crazy look that you've got on your face.
Yeah.
Or quizzical look, whatever it is.
That quizzical look,
That's what he means. He doesn't mean that but that's the resemblance of the same look, Oh,
what would you do then if you put something on YouTube and you were trying to be...
They said I look like Emma Thompson.
Well, no, you're sitting... Yeah, exactly. If you're sitting there. I mean, I'm in my bra. Am I in my bra? I can't remember. No, I'm not in my bra. No, I've got a top on. No, that's the book cover.
It's the book cover with your bra.
And what would you do if you put yourself out there and they said, wow, this guy is the image of... Let me just think of someone that, girly... I don't know, but look at this guy. He looks
Angelina Jolie.
He looks like that. Who's that blonde girl out of Baywatch?
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. Oh, he's the image of Pammy.
I say, I'll be looking at myself in the mirror all day. I'm going to take this top off. I've got Pam with me.
But do you know what I mean? It's not like anyway. So luckily, I decided there and then. I thought, do you know what? This guy, this actor. I can't remember his name. I'm really sorry, but I know he's huge.
Sorry, Mr. Office Man.
Yeah, I know you're huge in America. And I just thought, what a flipping compliment.
Yeah.
He has got the funniest TV show in America. I think Sonny watched that whole series and rolled around laughing. So I thought, right, so if I'm being compared to a man that is very, very funny.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Brian, he had a good point because I do look a bit like him. Because I went and Googled him after I saw it and I thought, same eyes, same dark hair.
Yeah.
Same chest.
Thanks. Looks the same in bra and knickers as what I do.
So when I straddle you on the toilet later on at 3:00, just think of the guy from The Office.
Sorry, I thought I was going to hear something.
Right. And on that note,
yes, it's time to go. Yes.
So this show is sponsored by the Travel Bog Diaries, one woman's hilarious confessions of taking her family travel around the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get the tagline right.
Yeah, you're going to have to get the tagline right.
I can't remember.
And the $350 will be going straight into the Itzadama Bank.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
The sponsorship.
So if you have not yet bought your copy of the Travel Bog Diaries, it's such a flipping good... You asked my mum. She absolutely loved it. Made her cry with laughter. It's a great book.
There is a part in it which makes you cry as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. And to all those people out there that have bought my book and given me feedback and, just supported me along this journey, just want to say I love you so much. Thank you so much for getting me to the #1 spot on Amazon. You've made my dream come true. You really have. It's just absolutely, it's humbling. And it's just, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Oh. And thank you, Bri.
And thank you, Liz, for writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so travelbogdiaries.com. You can go there. There's loads of buttons that you can press for UK, Canada, all those places.
Until next time, I'm going to say thank you for joining us, and I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, so kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true, and that's true to yourself.
Signing out, #1 best-selling author, international best-selling author, Liz Deagle. Yeah. Speak to you soon.
Irritable bowel syndrome person.
Bye.
See you there, bye.